Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Raj Botany. Myself Dr. Rajendra Kakade. Friends, today in this video tutorial we are going to discuss about a very important cell organelles, that is nucleus, which is usually called as the brain of the cells. So let's start. The nucleus. Deliberately I have put this slide, first slide. From this we can exactly locate the exact position of the nucleus inside the plant cell at the vicinity of the endoplasmic reticulum, and at the one side of the cell nucleus is present, and at the middle of the cells, at the central position of the cell, this vacuole is present. So here is our nucleus on which we have to focus. Let's first of all we see the history of nucleus. It is actually the Latin word which means the kernel or nut. It was first discovered cell organelles. By the mid of 1700s, the early microscope user had realized that living cell may contain a light gray sap with darker or denser globule that float into the sap or cell cytoplasm. The Scottish botanist Robert Brown in 1831 have used this term or describe the nucleus as a dark central globule. The nucleus is the largest cellular organelle inside the animals. As far as the plant is concerned, vacuole is the largest cell organelle. The viscous liquid which contain inside the nucleus is called as nucleoplasm, and it is a similar composition to the cytosol which is found outside the nucleus. The nucleus appears as a dense, roughly spherical organelles. Let's see the ultrastructure of nucleus. Ultrastructure, the word means if we study a particular structure by using electron microscope, that structure is called an ultrastructure. Mainly the nucleus consists of three parts. First, nuclear membrane, nucleoplasm, and nucleolus. Let's study one by one. Deliberately I have put this slide so far as we can observe the internet figure as well as book figure and actual nucleus, how it appears under electron microscope. This is actual diagram, actual figures of nucleus. If we focus more on this portion, this particular portion of the nucleus, we can see the pore complexes, nuclear pore complexes. Let's see more about this. The first one is nuclear membrane. The nuclear membrane, though since it is a eukaryotic cell and inside the eukaryotic cell nucleus is there, therefore it is a double layered organelles. Nuclear membrane completely encloses the nucleus, and nuclear membrane separates the inner content of the nucleus, that is nucleoplasm, from the cytoplasm of the cell. Then the cytoplasmic surface which is present outer side, that means the outer membrane, outer nuclear membrane, that has a numerous ribosomes, and that outer membrane, outer nuclear envelope is continuous with the endoplasmic reticulum. A very important point, the outer nuclear envelope is continuous with the endoplasmic reticulum, whereas the inner membrane is associated with the nuclear lamina. This nuclear lamina is also have a very important function which we'll see later on. The nuclear membrane formed from four components which are given here: perinuclear space, nuclear pore, nuclear lamina, and the annulus. Let's see one by one. First, perinuclear space. The perinuclear space, it is actually the space in between outer nuclear membrane and inner nuclear membrane that have length that is 10 to 50 nanometer. Here we can see the perinuclear space. This is outer nuclear membrane, this is inner nuclear membrane, and this we can see here the pore complex also, which we will focus more later on. And here the outer nuclear membrane and inner nuclear membrane, which are perforated by this nuclear pores. And this is actually picture of the outer nuclear membrane and inner nuclear membrane. This is cytosol side and this is nucleoplasm side. And here we can see the outer and inner nuclear membrane are meet at the nuclear pore complexes. Let's see nuclear pore. The nucleus communicates with the remaining of the cell or the cytoplasm through the several openings called the nuclear pores. We can observe the several openings on the nuclear membrane. There are several openings are actually called as the nuclear pores, or more particularly nuclear pore complexes. This pore and the annula are collectively known to form the nuclear pore complex. And these nuclear pore complex, which are actually arranged in hexagonally. At the margin of each pore, outer and inner membranes are continuous. Pores are randomly distributed in many nuclei. This is an actual electron microscopic picture of the nucleus. So we can see the numerous nuclear pores, and if we more focus on that nuclear pores, here we can see the nuclear pore complexes, which are actually hexagonal ring-like structure. The pores in the center of the pore complex here, nuclear pore complex, here we can see the nuclear pore complex. These are the intermembrane space or a perinuclear space, and inner to the inner nuclear space, there is presence of the nuclear lamina, which gives support to the chromatin material. And this is the outer nuclear membrane, which is facing toward the cell cytoplasm, and on this outer nuclear membrane, we can see here the ribosomes are present. That pores regulate the passage of many macromolecules like RNA, proteins. If you see the transcription, after the transcription, mRNA get formed, and that mRNA come out from the nucleoplasm to the cytoplasm through this nuclear pore complex. So this is very vital, what you can say, the structure as far as the nuclear envelope is concerned. Deliberately, this figure is kept here. Here we can see entry and exit of macromolecules through the nuclear or nuclear pores. Then let's focus on nuclear lamina. Let's see exactly where this nuclear lamina. Here, this slightly blackish colored structure is called as the nuclear lamina, which gives support to the chromatin material. And this somewhat whitish gray structure, that is actually the chromatin network. And this nuclear lamina that provides the structure link between this chromatin material and nuclear envelope. This here we can see the nuclear envelope, and this white slightly black whitish color is called as the chromatin material, and this nuclear lamina provides the structure link for chromatin and nuclear envelope. And this integrity of this nuclear lamina is regulated by the phosphorylation and dephosphorylation. Phosphorylation and dephosphorylation. This nuclear lamina also support to the nuclear envelope, gives shape and stability to the nuclear envelope. Let's see the annulus. Here we can see the annulus, this yellow structure, one ring facing toward the cytoplasm and one ring facing toward the nucleoplasm. And here is the nuclear lamina. The section through the nuclear pore, if we check the section through the nuclear pores, we can see the electron dense ring or cylinder within the pore, which is called as the annulus. Its diameter is 150 angstrom. It have both outer and inner membrane, at which outer and inner membrane of the nucleus fuse at the annulus. Annulus is consist of 8 subunits actually, and these 8 subunits are arranged in a radial symmetry. Here we can see, since it has been sectioned through the nuclear pore, that's why you can observe here only 4 subunits, but actually there are 8 subunits as far as the annulus is concerned, and it is arranged on outer and inner margin of the pores. Each annulus consists of 8 granules, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 granules are actually there are 8 granules are there, but due to the sectioned part, here we can only observe the 4 granules, and each granule have the 14 nanometer their diameter. Then let's see the nucleoplasm. It consists of the fluid-like portion inside the nuclear membrane, also contain the DNA, non-histone chromosomes, and RNA also. Chromosomes are present in the form of string of DNA and histone, that is called as chromatin. This is a very important characteristic of the eukaryotic cell. The chromosomes is present, or chromosome is consist of DNA plus histone protein. This is not in case of prokaryotic cells. Chromatin is further classified into heterochromatin and euchromatin region. This heterochromatin is highly dense, means that have high concentration of DNA, and euchromatin region have less concentration of DNA. DNA and proteins are organized in highly regular pattern to form nucleosome and chromatin. DNA and protein are organized in highly regular pattern, and that give rise to the formation of the one particular chromosome, or called as chromatin. Then the proteins regulate the packaging of the DNA. If you consider the chromosome consists of proteins and DNA, protein constitute 80% of the total mass of nuclear material, while DNA forms 15 to 20% only. If we concentrate on the metaphasic chromosome of the cell, and if you take such portion, here we can see the heterochromatin region, more dense, what you can say, the nuclear material here, DNA is here, and euchromatin region, here we can see the less concentration of the DNA, which means euchromatin region is a highly transcriptionally active region, whereas heterochromatin region are transcriptionally inactive regions. And if we focus more on this particular region, here we can see such loops, and these loops are arranged or attached a structure called as a scaffold. And if you take such a small portion of this loop, then we can see such a structure that is packed the nucleosome in 30 nanometer chromatin fiber. And these nucleosomes, if you unwind it more, that appear like beads on a string that have beads, and these beads are actually the histone protein, and these are formed from 8 subunit, S2A, S2B, then S2, S3, and all these subunits are in multiple of 2, and these histone proteins, adjacent histone proteins, are joined with each other by a linker DNA, and these 8 subunit histone protein subunits are binded with each other, coiling of this DNA. So this is very interesting structure. The chromosome, we can see the chromosomes here. This is actually the combination of histone proteins plus DNA. On DNA, negative charge is there, and on histone protein, positive charge is there. Therefore, both are remain at the vicinity or attached to each other. This H1 histones, which is whole responsible for the primary coiling of this DNA. Very interesting. Then nucleolus. This nucleolus is present actually within the nucleus. See the spelling, Nucleolus, and nucleus, Nucleus, nucleus. Nucleolus, it is a dense spherical shaped structure present inside the nucleus, which are discovered by the scientist Fontana in the year 1787. This is a very important discovery. The scientist Fontana discovered that nucleolus. That nucleolus present within the nucleus, and main function of the nucleolus is to synthesize the rRNA, that is ribosomal RNA. That from that ribosomal RNA, there is a formation of ribosome, and that ribosome have very important and vital function as far as the protein synthesis is concerned. The presence of prominent nucleolus indicates the cell is actively synthesizing protein 1. Here in this figure we can see this is a nucleus, and inside the nucleus nucleolus is present, and this nucleolus, when it synthesizes the rRNA, that rRNA transferred to the cytoplasm through these nuclear pores. Means we can say inside the nucleus two rRNA are get synthesized. One through the transcription there is a formation of mRNA, and inside the nucleolus there is a formation of rRNA. rRNA and mRNA both are actively take part in the protein synthesis process. Let's see the functions of the nucleus. Nucleus act as a repository of genetic information which contain DNA as well as RNA, deoxyribonucleic acid and ribonucleic acid. Nucleus enables the synthesis of nearly all proteins. Means nucleus send the signals, or nucleus synthesize actually the rRNA and mRNA. It houses the nucleus, means nucleolus contain inside the nucleus. That's why written here houses the nucleolus. Nucleus is responsible for the production of ribosomes. Yes, that duplicate transcript of genetic information and control the protein synthesis. Duplicate that refer to the DNA replication or DNA duplication. Transcript means formation of mRNA from the DNA. That's why written here transcript genetic information. And both DNA and RNA, mRNA play major role in protein synthesis. It is selectively transportation of regulatory factors and energy molecules through a nuclear pores. Earlier we have discussed through the nuclear pore, whatever the rRNA synthesized inside the nucleolus and whatever mRNA synthesized from the transcription, both rRNA and mRNA are transported through the cell cytoplasm through these nuclear pores. Nucleus allow small molecules to diffuse easily between nucleoplasm and cytoplasm. The molecules which are required for the essential activity both are diffuses between nucleoplasm and cytoplasm. Nucleus controls the passage of proteins and RNA proteins complexes. It actually import and exports some of the macromolecules such as RNA and RNA protein complexes. Thank you, dear friends. I request all of you, if you not subscribe my channel Raj Botany, please do subscribe it. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you very much.